It's time for the Stanley Cup Final. What's up, guys, and welcome to episode number 12 of this Dallas Stars NHL 23 franchise series. And today, I'm obviously starting the Stanley Cup Final here in the series. As you can see, it's against the Toronto Maple Leafs, as they're the only team in the lead that has more points than the Stars. So, I mean, you have the best team in the West, the best team in the East in the finals. Best of 7, of course. Game 1, obviously, because they have more points, is in Toronto. Is this the only team that we could not have home ice advantage against in the playoffs? And obviously, we play that one team in the finals. So games 1, 2, 5, and 7 are up in Toronto, north of the border in Toronto, and then games 3, 4, and 6 are in Dallas. So, yeah. And remember, the Texas Stars, voila. Magic, right? No, the only thing you have to do is click the option button, and that's how that came about. You click options to go from AHL to NHL. But the Texas Stars, the AHL affiliate of the Dallas Stars, of course, are in the Western Conference Finals in the Calder Cup playoffs, which is the AHL playoffs. They're tied 2 games to 2, or they're tied at 2 games apiece with the Colorado Eagles, the AHL affiliate of the Colorado Avalanche. But the hilarious thing with this is the games are alternating. Like, the Stars game this day, Dallas Stars game this day, next day Texas game, Texas, Dallas, etc. But if you look at that. The Toronto Marlies, yes, the Toronto Marlies are in the Eastern Conference Finals. As you can see on the right-hand side, you can see Stars over there, Marlies right there. You can see like the Maple Leaf, or something like a Maple Leaf, over there on the right side. So you have both Dallas and Texas in the finals, the Stanley Cup Finals, and then you have Texas and Toronto, the AHL teams for Dallas and Toronto, in the conference finals in the AHL playoffs. It is rare you see a team, it's rare that you see the AHL team and the NHL team both made a run at the Cup. I mean, right now we have both NHL teams in the finals, and there's a possibility both AHL teams could be in the Calder Cup finals. I mean, that's nuts. I mean, it's nuts that one team's like that, where you have both teams making a run, but to have 2 teams, really 4 teams, 2 AHL, 2 NHL, all 4 making a run at the Cup is nuts. But it'd be cool, obviously, if both Texas and Dallas win it. But obviously that series is still in the Western Conference Finals, tied at 2. And Toronto, both conference finals in the AHL are tied at 2 games apiece. So yeah, Jason Robertson, 9 goals, 6 assists, 15 points in all 13 playoff games. The Stars are 12-1. The Stars are 12-1. The Maple Leafs are 12-6. So we both have 12 wins, but obviously we have 1 loss. They have 6. The only loss we had was, I'm going to show you the schedule real quick before we get into game 1 of the finals. As I'm excited and nervous because, I mean, this is a team that, I mean, they had more points than us, and so, I mean, you can see our only loss was game 3 against the Avalanche in the second round. So we swept the Predators, then beat the Avalanche 4-1, then we swept the Canucks. So yeah, our only loss was in round 2, game 3 against the Avalanche in Denver, 4-2. But all the other games we've won, and there's been close games. And in this past series, 4-0 win, then back-to-back overtime wins, and then a 7-2 win in Game 4 to clinch it. So the only game that wasn't close in the Western Conference Finals was Game 4, where we won by 5 goals, and then Game 1 we won 4-0. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a tough series. I mean, I don't know how many points the Maple Leafs had more than us. I don't know. I actually don't know. We had 104. The Maple Leafs had 107. So, I mean, yeah. So they have 3 more points than us. We're averaging 3.29 goals a game. They're averaging 3.37. And then we're giving up 2.72 goals per game. They're giving up 2.82. So it's pretty almost the goal differential and the goals per game and goals against, or the goal differential and the goals for per game and the goals against per game are almost basically similar. And then the points, obviously, they just have 3 more. But, so here we go. 2023 Stanley Cup, 2023 Stanley Cup Final between the Stars and the 2023 Stanley Cup Final Game 1 between the Stars and the Maple Leafs in Toronto at Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Ontario. Here we go. Let's get into Game 1 of the 2023 Stanley Cup Final. I mean, this game was Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, Morgan Riley, John Tavares, I think. I mean, I think that's their captain, unless they traded him or something, but I don't think so. And then obviously we have Robertson, Pavelski, Heiskanen, Ben, our captain, Sagan. I believe, Hintz is injured. Rupe Hintz is injured. Jacob Peterson's also injured. Rupe Hintz got injured in it was game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, and I have no idea if he's coming back. And then Jacob Peterson got injured in like game 1 or 2 of the Nashville series. So we don't have Hintz, but we still have some other weapons. But I mean, look at that, 94 defense or 94 offense and 92 defense. This team this is going to be hard. Set-ins per usual as offense plus 5 for Toronto, 94 to 89. Defense plus 2, 92 to 90. And then goalie, we're actually plus 1, 87 to 86. Their goalie is, I don't know who their goalie is. Is it Matt Murray? Oh, that Matt Murray. I'm not sure. Or it might be Jack Campbell. I'm not sure. Let's watch the presentation. James Cebulski, Game 1 of the 2023 Stanley Cup Final. As these fans here at Scotiabank Arena in Toronto, Ontario are on their feet. It's a full house, obviously. And Hintz is back, by the way, because I thought he was injured, but he's back. He took that open and draw, lost it, but at least he's back. As Hintz got injured in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, missed Games 2, 3, and 4 of that series after getting injured in Game 1, but he's back for Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals, which is good. I mean, you would think hockey players would play in the Stanley Cup Final unless they're, actually, seriously injured. And now Matthews saved by Ottinger, as that was point blank, but Ottinger said no to Matthews, who's at a 95 overall. And now getting there first is Robertson, and a shot is blocked. Back to the point, we have Miller, we have Heiskanen, save, rebound, and Pavelski, there's a penalty on Pavelski? And the call is a slash on Pavelski. That's a female official right there. I'm just saying that, isn't it? But she called it. 17:04 to go in the first. 2-minute slash on Pavelski. Oh yeah, right there. He got it on the left hand of that Toronto player. Alright. I didn't see that right away. Here we go. Power play for Toronto. It was 16:59 to go actually in the first. Now Ottinger. I hit the button 5 times to hit it down the ice, and then he did do that. Ottinger did. He almost put the puck out of play though. And now Fatsa almost got that. Now up ahead, Bunton. Just poked by Lindell, and it's cleared down the ice by Lindell. And their goaltender is actually Samsonov. Ivan Samsonov. And here's Yarncroke. So their goaltender is Samsonov. I think I'm saying his name correctly. Here's a shot stopped by Ottinger and dumped down the ice. So the penalty actually happened with 16:59 to go in the period, not 17:04. I don't know why there was a problem with that. Here's Yarncroke. And a one-time or a slap shot stopped by Ottinger. And now Cheerfoot deposed by Delandria, who got rocked. Fatsa clears it. Samsonov. And now here's Morgan Riley. I do not like that guy. Here's Fatsa. He stole it away. But then the guy was changing and the pass got intercepted. Now back the other way. How did he get through there? Stopped by Ottinger and cleared down the ice. 35 seconds to go on the power play here. And Suter with a big hit. And Riley takes the puck back though. And now Vatsa forces a stick lift and a turnover. And this is just killing time. 15 seconds to go on the power play. Here's Yarncroat. Yarncroat, maybe numbers, but a good play on Cheerfoot. Save from point blank. 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. The power play is over. Pavelski's out of the bots. And a slapper stop rebound. Ottinger's got it as he secures the second one. Second shot. 14:38 to go. Still scoreless. Austin Matthews, 41 hits here in the playoffs. That leads the lead, I think. And we lose the faceoff. That's Tavares. Big hit by Ben. There goes Ben. Jamie Benn. Backhander save. Rebound save by Sadin. Or on Sadin. And now a shot tipped, but it got broken up. Or it got blocked. But my goodness, Ben with a breakaway after that mammoth hit. But then that never went. And now Tavares off the turnover, but saved by Ottinger. Yeah, Ben denied on the breakaway, and then Sadin denied on the follow-up. Sadin led him to win his second cup, first with the Stars. He won his first cup in his career with Boston as a rookie back in 2011. And obviously, all the other players in this team that have never won a cup, I don't think, because Pavelski's been in one finals, but lost to Pittsburgh when he was on the San Jose Sharks. And what's the penalty now? Interference on Robertson? Where was that? Now we're showing them for the second time in the first 8 minutes of Game 1. Where was that? You're telling me that's interference? Yes, he did hit him, but like, you're calling that interference. So we're 1 for 1 on the P-tape, but here we go. 0 for 1. The Maple Leafs started with 3 shots. I turned it over, and now here's Robertson. And Nick Robertson, the brother of Jason Robertson, which I forgot to mention that you have 2 Robertson brothers playing here in the finals. Nick Robertson of the Maple Leafs and Jason Robertson of the Stars. And Jason Robertson's in the bots. And now down the ice. Get that, Pavelski! Pavelski on a breakaway! And a save! Wrap around! Another save, and Samsonov's got it. But yeah, I forgot Nick Robertson's on the Maple Leafs. I'm pretty sure Nick Robertson's younger than Jason Robertson. But either way, you have 2 brothers here on the ice, 1 on each team. So one will win the cup, 1 will lose the cup, and I didn't mean to do that. But I'll kill some time here. Puck is in the neutral zone. 11:31 to go in the first. No score. And a hit. Now Matthews. Matthews. Here comes Matthews. But a save. 11:26 to go. When there's a penalty, the clock actually goes the speed of real life. But when there's not a penalty, it goes faster than real life. So that's why it seems like these first 9 minutes are an eternity, is because there was 2 penalties. Pavelski had a slash, and Jason Robertson had interference. And now up ahead, one-timer, a slapper save Ottinger, and now Butcher cannot get it out. But now Miller's got it. Up ahead, Nick Camano. I believe he's in for Peterson. And a backhander score! Will Butcher with his first Stanley Cup playoff goal. And it's in the finals. A shorty. And the Stars have struck first in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup final here in Toronto. As Butcher with a backhander beat the goaltender, Samsonov. And it's 1-0 Stars. Out of all the shots to go in, that one went in. Backhander from the slot. Shorty for Butcher. Assisted by Camano, Nick Camano, and Colin Miller, and it's 1-0 Dallas. But now a slapper by Matthews, stopped by the blocker of Ottinger. As that's... What? I hit the thing to go down the... Hit the foot down the ice. Here we go. Still 35 seconds to go on the power play. Here's Marner. Up ahead, Matthews blocked. Got it back! And that was tit-tat-toe, but save Ottinger in the crease. Well, it's the first goal of the Stanley Cup playoffs for Will Butcher, and I'm pretty sure he's never had a career... I'm pretty sure that was his first career Stanley Cup playoff goal. Or if it wasn't, it was at least his first Stanley Cup playoff goal this year, if not his first career Stanley Cup playoff goal. And now Samsonov hit it around the boards, missed, by 16, which I believe is Tavares. Hakanpää clears it. 12 seconds to go on the power play, which they've had their chances, but obviously we got a shorty. 5 seconds, here's Matthews, poked away, got it back, and he shot it, save, in the crease. Another save by Ottinger as Hakanpää turned it over. Pressure for, and now up ahead Fatsa, up ahead Hakanpää, and it's now dumped in as the penalty is over, and getting there first is Delandria. And now Pavelski finds Hastings, save, rebound. Good box out. They get the putt for Toronto. And now Matthews gets nailed. Matthews, but then a big hit by on a Stars player. Here's Hastings. Hastings and sends it to the slot. I don't know what that was. Stopped. The pass was stopped or intercepted. Now Riley Marner. 7:20 to go here. And a poke. Here's Hintz. Hintz fires it, save, rebound! Hit the side of the post, or side of the net. And now Tierfoot. And now Lindell finds Hintz, turns it over. And now finds Riley, bust right in! Backhand, forehand, it stopped and then cleared down the ice. And we're not short-handed, and oh, there's no icing apparently. I thought that would have definitely been an icing, and then Miller just nailed that time. I don't know why that was not an icing. Is it what? I mean, and now Ben just goes beast mode Ben, and Ben backdoor, and it got broken up, and then Sadie got it below the goal line. Save. Miller tipped by his own die, tipped by a Toronto die. On net, but saved by Samsonov. And now Giordano finds it down low. Gurionov is on this team, and then he misses Sadin. And this one will be an icing. I don't know, the last one wasn't, but the last one wasn't. This one is. 2:05 to go. Still 1-0 Stars. One goal is scored by Will Butcher, shorthanded. His first Stanley Cup playoff goal this season, and/or his first Stanley Cup playoff goal of his career. Center and pass, what a save! And then it was inches away from going in, as it was behind Ottinger, right in front of the line. And now Gurionov centers it. Ben, backhander save. 35 seconds. Sadin finds Ben, and then a backhander's blocked. I didn't try to do a backhander. And for some reason, I was waiting for the guys to touch up. No one touched up. 3 seconds, Tavares, and he actually almost turned it over. He does not. Horn sounds. It's 1-0 in Dallas after the opening 20 minutes here in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final. There's a shorty by Butcher, the only goal so far here in this game. Yeah, I mean, there was a backhander from the slot, and it went in. Shots are actually 16-12 Toronto. I mean, usually I don't get outshot, or if I do, it's not. It's usually it might be like 10-8, but 16-2, and then 16-2 Toronto on the shots on goal. 6-5 Dallas on the hits. Time of attack, they actually have a few seconds more. Passing, I'm really bad. Faceoffs 5-5. Toronto's 0 for 2 on the power play, and obviously we have that one short-handed goal by Will Butcher. And like I said, it's his first Stanley Cup playoff goal of this season, and/or his first career Stanley Cup playoff goal. I'm not sure if he ever has had one with another team. I'm not sure. He might have had one with the team he was on before, which was I'm not sure what team he was on before the Stars, but he might have had a playoff goal with that team. I'm not sure. But either way, it was his first career Stanley Cup playoff goal in a Stars uniform, no matter what. And yeah, second period, 1-0 Stars. Here we go. 20 minutes down, 40 to go. And Hintz wins the open draw of the middle frame. Robertson dumps it in. Jason Robertson. And it's that was a big hit on Pavelski. Pavelski lost his helmet. He has to go to the bench. But we're on your way in the second period. It's 1-0 Dallas. And then that shot was weak as it missed the net. Yeah, here's Jason Robertson. Second period here in Game 1. 1-0 Dallas Stars. And now a good forecheck by Dallas. Here's Hintz! And he missed the net. And there's Pavelski's helmet in the corner. And trying to pass it to Ben was Robertson. But it was broken up. Here's Nylander. Blown up right in front of the bench. Right in front of the Dallas bench. Here's Miller. Up ahead, Hintz. And he tries to find Ben. He does! But stopped by Sam Stornoff. 16:28 to go in the second. And by the way, John Tavares is number 91, not 16. Here we go. We win the draw. Miller passes it back to Haston. Haston with a try. Rebound! Save. And does a juicy rebound. Here come the Maple Leafs. And a shot. It wasn't even toward the net because he was hit from behind. Dumped in now by Haston. Hit the side. Hit the back of the net. And now going right in front is Marchment. But a save, and then a good forecheck. Haston finds Miller, and he'll shoot it through a screen, but a save. And then a guy was on the doorstep, but went through his legs. Here's this guy. Here's Marchment, the big dude, trying to find Fatsa, but that didn't work. Good poke by Marchment. Two good poke shots in a span of seconds, but that was a bad pass. And a depote, and then a hit on by Haston, and Gurianov finds Sadin. Sadin on a breakaway! And a save, as Sadin split two defenders, but a backhander was stopped. I don't know how he got through there. Here's this guy. And now finds this guy at the point, shot is blocked. And now Haston turned it over. Giordano, the captain, or he's not the captain is Tavares, but Giordano, the defenseman. And eventually a shot is stopped by Ottinger. As we're approaching the halfway point of Game 1, as we are 10:30 to go here. As we are halfway through Game 1, 1-0 Stars here in Toronto. On that shorthanded goal by Butcher. How about the other way? Here come the Leafs. Centering pass! Ottinger said no. As he did it again. Here's Ben. Here's Ben. Got around a hip check! And a save on Gurianov. Another shot is stopped. Rebound. Save. Man, Sam Stornoff is hard to beat. And of course, the one shot he gave up was the backhander by Butcher from the slot while the Maple Leafs were on the power play. And dumped in by Ben. And Pavelski from behind. That is not a... Okay, let's go then. Let's fight. As there goes the gloves. It's Pavelski and Michael Bunting. And Pavelski's tied up as it's Michael Bunting and Pavelski. 16 in white, 58 in blue. Helmet off for Bunting. Both energies low here, and Pavelski is taken to the ice as Bunting had a little bit of energy left. Pavelski has none, as Pavelski's taken down in the right circle. But as Pavelski's done it 5 for fighting. I don't know what is going on with the referee right there. 5 for fighting on Bunting and Pavelski, and then Pavelski actually got an extra 2 minutes for, I don't know, charging or boarding or I don't know what the penalty was, but he got an extra 2 minutes for something before the fight. So the third penalty play for Toronto. They're 0 for 2 with 11 shots on goal. Make that 12. So they're 0 for 2 with a dozen shots on the power play, but no goals. And after they didn't have the shorty, the only goal for either team. Marner blocked. And now Miller, well, did it out of the zone. It's offside as Toronto brings it back in. 6:58 to go in the second. It's still 1-0 Stars. The first power play is Marner, Matthews, and Nylander on the that's at least for the forwards. And we lose the face-off, and then Riley's one of the defensemen, and Giordano might be the other one. And now Hintz cannot get it out. It's hit out of midair, but then Camano forced it out. And now picked off by Hintz. Hintz drives it, but a save. And then I ran the goalie. And Tavares, that is nailed. Here's Butcher. And good play by Butcher. And that was centering pass. And Nylander ran out of real estate, and then Matthews shot is blocked by someone in front. And then Miller clears it out of the zone. halfway through the power play. 6:20 to go here in the period. And now Matthews, with a shot, stopped. Butcher hit it off the side of his own net, and it goes out of play. As I tried to hit it around the boards and out of the zone, instead it hit the back of the net and out of play. So the faceoff will stay in the start zone. Faceoff is 7 apiece here. I mean, this is a tough game here. And now a good pass. Brody, Nick Robertson, down the cheer foot, picked off by, now it's turned over. Down low, Yarncroat. Down low, Cheerfoot, below the goal line. They have the Stars chasing, saved by Ottinger. The puck is still in the Star zone. The last flip ended, so there's going to be a shot like right away here. And there's a shot saved by Ottinger. And I'm passing it out, which could be a mistake. And it's not, as it's cleared by Hastinen. And get in there first is Hastinen. Delandria. And he lost the puck. 20 seconds to go in the power play. Maple Leafs had a boatload of shots, but a save. And then it's passed out. Hakanpää down the ice. Not down the ice. Saved by Ottinger. As this one will not pass out. 5:27 to go. Here we go. There is 12 seconds to go on the Maple Leafs power play. 25 saves on 25 shots for Ottinger. And that is out of the zone, as Riley wasn't even in the zone. 5 seconds as Pavelski's ready at the box. He has a lot of penalty minutes in this game. I think he has 14. I didn't mean to do that. That's going to be an icing unless we can get there first. And that did in there first is Tanner Taro. Tanner Taro got to the dots first. That leads to icing, and then Suter brought it out of the zone accidentally. But yeah, Pavelski has what? 2 minors and then a 5-minute, so he has 9 penalty minutes in this game. Here we go, there's Spatza, 3, and that's not out of the zone. Nylander, but lost the puck. Marchment dumps it into the corner. Fonsa gets there, but saved by Sam Stornoff. What's the penalty now? Interference on Marchment? What did Marchment do? Why is forgot Pavelski has a 5-minute major for fight-ins. That's why he's still in the box. That means someone served the penalty for Pavelski. Why would he just randomly just cross-check someone? That was like almost after the whistle. I wasn't even controlling him. I was controlling Fonsa. So now they're 0 for 3 with 18 shots. Make that 19. Make that 20 as another 2 shots are stopped by Ottinger, who's playing like he did last year in Game 7 against Calgary. Or really in that entire Calgary series, he was ridiculous. Especially in Game 7. And he's doing that again here in Game 1 with that one lone goal standing up for now. Shot is blocked. Kamana clears it. Oh, I tried to hit that guy, but also I might have been called for a penalty if I hit that guy. Here's this guy. There's 1:50 to go in the period. Shot is stopped by Ottinger. Loose. Butcher clears it out. He's the only guy that has a goal, and it was short-handed. Hintz busting right down the ice. And now a center and pass got broken up. Had a guy kind of back door, but that didn't work. There's been a lot of shots in this game. Only 1 goal scored. That guy got clubbed. And it's cleared down the ice. 1:27 to go in the period. 1 minute to go in the power play. Miller got there first. And Miller kicked it out of there. But it's like 1-on-5 down there. Here we go. And a play by Fonsa. Fonsa. And it's shot by Miller. Blocked. Get in there is Delandria. And Delandria gets hit hard. 1 minute to go in the period. 30 seconds to go in the power play here. On their 4th power play. Now up ahead. Finds Robertson. Finds Yarncroat. Save, rebound. Another save. 47 seconds to go as Ottinger's bailed us out. And then Hintz, not Hintz. And now Yarncroat. Yarncroat on a breakaway. And he scores. Cal Yarncroat ties the game in the final minute of the second. On a breakaway. Backhand, forehand. He finished on the forehand. 5th goal of the playoffs. Power play goal as they finally break through. They're 1 for 4 on the power play. And we're tied at 1 apiece. 33.2 to go in the second. As that was an intercepted pass, and then Yarncroke took it all the way after he intercepted the pass, ends up on a breakaway after picking off that pass and scores. And now 6 seconds to go, and now a center pass broken up by Lindell, cleared by Marchment, and that is the end of the second period. We're tied at 1 apiece. So, yeah, Will Butcher scored on the Will Butcher scored shorthanded for Dallas, and then Cal Yarncroke scored on the power play for Toronto. And we will head to the third, tied at 1 apiece. Shots are 31-22 Toronto, and that 4 power plays. And out of the 4 power plays, I'm pretty sure like 20 of their shots have been on those 4 power plays. So if we haven't had those penalties, they wouldn't have that many shots. But hits 59 Dallas, shots 31-22 Toronto. The game is tied at 1 thanks to that shorthanded goal by Butcher, and then obviously Yarncroke had that power play goal that tied it with 33 seconds to go in the second period. Shots, it was 16-12 Toronto in the first, 15-10 Toronto in the second. Face-offs 5-5 in the first, and then 5-3 Toronto in the second. And now the goals 1-0 Dallas in the first, and then 1-0 Toronto in the second. Here we go, third period with the game tied at 1, and here in game 1. I mean, this is a tough game. I mean, I've had my shots and our chances. We've had like 2 or 3 breakaways, but Samsonov has been good. And the only goal he's given up was a really soft goal. And we won the opening draw of the third period. Hintz does. We're on your way in the third, tied at 1. And now he finds this guy. That was Pavelski's save. And now that was a intercepted pass by Marner, but doesn't do anything. Here's Miller. Miller got bodied off the puck. Hintz follows up though. Finds that guy! Almost finds a guy back door, but picked off. And now Marner. And now Haston. Lost the puck. Here's Brody. Finds Riley. Down low to Matthews. Saved by Ottinger. Now Pavelski. I tried to dump it in, but it got picked off by Brody. Here's Marner. And now Hintz. Here's Hintz with a bullet of speed. And here's a shot, save, rebound, score! Jamie Benn, the captain. And the Stars retake the lead. A huge goal for the captain and his team. 3:40 into the third, and the Stars are back in front. As Hintz's shot was stopped by Samsonov off the blocker, but it was a juicy rebound. Ben was there to bury it. And the captain has the Stars back in front. Let's go. Ben's 8th point. 16-20 to go in the third, and the Stars are up 2-1. Assisted by Hintz and Hastonen. And now we win the draw, and that's a bank pass. That was a bad pass. Here's Tavares, the other captain. And did play by Suter. Finds the Stars captain who just scored. And Ben still has it. That was a good play by Ben. And now Saden stopped by Samsonov, and he passes it out. Now here comes Toronto. Finds this guy, slaps it on goal, but a save, and Ottinger will corral it and get the whistle. Time to attack. We have like 10 seconds more. I mean, it's been that even. We win the draw. Up ahead, Ben, who just scored. Still on the ice. Saden got there first. And he tried to find a guy back door, but there was a guy cut in, but the pass is blocked. 13 minutes to go in game 1. Stars are up 2-1, but this game's obviously nowhere near over. It's been a good hard-fought game. And now up ahead, Marchment. And he got the putt jack before he shot it. And now up ahead, that was trying to toe drag, but that didn't work. Kivaranta, I passed it right to Morgan Riley. Tavares, but now Fonsa picked it off. Fonsa 1-on-1, but a save was by Samsonov. Kicked out of there. Kivaranta, and there's a delayed penalty on the Maple Leafs as we will finally get a power play. Unless we score, as it's still going here, as Kivaranta's got it. Robertson passed it right to a Toronto player. And the call is holding, as that was holding on Justin Hull. I believe that was up against the boards. But we did our first power play, 10:56 to go. 2 minutes for holding on that guy. As yeah, he was holding Fassa up against the boards. And now Pavelski obviously has that big tipper X factor. He's really good at tipping. He stayed in the faceoff. Faceoff's 11-10 Dallas. Make that 12-10. Robertson with a shot blocked. Now Sadin, Robertson, Hastinen, and that was a bad pass. And Yarncroke, who scored that power play goal, now shorthanded. He's gonna come in here. Giordano, and he got nailed, but Toronto sets it up shorthanded. And they're playing keep away here, but we finally get the puck on the power play. Here's Sadin. Sadin got around the hip check, back door, and ends up not working out. And now Hastings, Pavelski got a tip, but or Sadin got a tip, but it was stopped and cleared by Toronto. 1:10 to go on the power play. 9:25 to go in the period. Up ahead, Pavelski. Here he comes. Made a move over to Hintz, but it got blocked and almost went in the net. And now Hastings gloves it down in his own zone. And now Sadin got putt jacked. And a big hit. Now Giordano, shorthanded. One-timer blocked by Robertson. Rebound. Stopped by Ottinger. But Toronto's pretty good on the shorthanded. We've had our chances, though. 9:01 to go. 9:01 to go. 44 seconds to go on our first power play. And we win the draw. Up ahead, Marchment. Gurionov as the set. And now here's Ben. A step behind the fence. Here's Ben. But a save by Samsonov. Turned it over. Star! Marchment off the turnover. And it's 3-1 as Samsonov threw it out. Had it covered, but threw it out right to Marchment. He threw it out to his teammate who missed it. Then the puck went right to Marchment, and Marchment buries it as he takes the gift of that turnover and says, "Thank you very much." His first goal of the playoffs, an 8th point. His first goal of the playoffs, and an 8th point of the playoffs. 8:48 to go. It is a power play goal, unassisted, and it's 3-1. That's a huge insurance goal. It was Ben 5-on-5, and then it was Marchment on the power play off a turnover, as that puck was laid on a gold platter for Marchment. Now Sadin. Sadin, here he comes. Save. Now 7 minutes to go in game 1. 3-1. And a shot turned aside by Ottinger. Now Sadin. Sadin got around a guy. Save, rebound. Right to Toronto. And now Lindell. Good play by Lindell. And now Hintz got around the guy. Centering pass. Suter. Suter save. And Pavelski got nailed. Giordano. Under 5 to go here. Final 5. Toronto has the puck. 4:40 to go. Shots 36-33. Toronto. Obviously, we have 2 more goals, though. Here we go. Here's Hintz. Finds Pavelski, who comes right in. Backhander. But a save. Robertson. Killing time here. Hintz. And that was a bad shot. He was tied up. 3.5 to go. Here's Matthews. And a shot stopped. Rebound was there, but save. And now it's turned over. Down low, Matthews. Riley. Marner. Shot blocked or tipped on net. And it hit the post. And a save, rebound. Ottinger's got it with 2:18 to go as it was tipped off the post. Maybe even the crossbar. But either way, it stayed out as that was tipped, hit the bar or the post. And then went high up in the air and ended up landing in the circle. 2:18 to go, still 5-on-5 as they haven't pulled their goalie yet. And now Riley with a slapper save. 2 minutes to go, and Marchment sends it down the ice. Didn't mean to do that, and it will be in. No, it won't be in ice. And Tipperanta beat him to the circles. 1:20 to go. They still haven't pulled him. And now Fassa up ahead, Marchment. And there goes their goalie. 1 minute to go. 3-1 Dallas. Empty net for Toronto. Miller didn't get the puck out. And now Ottinger's got it. Hastinen's got it now. That's not out either. And Miller, on the third time the charm, gets it out. 40 seconds to go here. Maple Leafs need 2. Dumped in to the other corner. Miller sends it down the ice way wide, and this will be an ice in with 33.4 to go. Toronto needs 2 goals in half a minute. Empty net. Here we go. We win the draw. Hastin for the empty net. It might have been tipped. And it was tipped. No icing. Gurianov gets there first. Hastin for the empty net. He scores. Miro Hastinen with the empty netter and the dagger in Game 1. And I believe it was tipped. Hastinen's first bid for the empty net was tipped by a Toronto player. So there was no icing. Gurianov hustled down there. Down to the other side of the ice, got to the puck first. It was pinned up against the boards. He kicked it out to Hastinen, and Hastinen buried it into the empty net for the empty net goal and the dagger. 10 seconds, 4-1 Stars, as the Stars will steal Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final here in Toronto as they score 3 goals here in the third, including the empty netter. One last shot stopped by Jake Ottinger. He passes it out. The horn sounds, and the Stars have won Game 1. As we score 3 goals in the third, including the empty netter, and the Stars have stolen Game 1, 4-1 here in Toronto. Heck of a game for this team defensively. I know we gave up a lot of shots, but Ottinger obviously was flawless except for that Yarncroat goal in the final minute of the second period, and there was Marchman's goal served on a golden platter, and then here was Butcher's goal. I'm pretty sure. No, this is Ben's goal right here. As it was Butcher shorthanded, Ben 5-on-5, Marchman 5-on-5 with off that turnover, and then obviously Hastinen had that empty netter and the dagger. And Ben 1 goal and 2 hits. He's the third star. Hastinen, 1 goal, 1 assist, 4 hits. Obviously, the 1 goal was the empty netter in the final minute of the third. He's the second star. And then the first star, Ottinger? And the first star is Jake Ottinger. 41 saves on 41 saves on 42 shots, which I think was like a .970 save percentage, that's pretty good. Samsonov, he had 30 saves on 33 shots. We had 34 shots. Bob said the empty netter, obviously he wasn't in the net. That counts as a goal and a shot. So Samsonov 30 saves on 33 shots, and then Ottinger 41 saves on 42 shots. Power plays, we were 1 for 1. Into that gift of pass by the Samsonov on Marchman's goal. That was a power play goal. We were 1 for 1 on the power play. Maple Leafs 1 for 4. I mean, had almost 8 minutes of power play time. We had a minute and a half. Scored 1 goal off in the power play, 1 for 1. They were 1 for 4. Had a lot of shots. And then obviously face-offs 15-12 Dallas. Passing they were much better. Time in attack we had about 50 seconds more. Hits 22-10. 22-14. Dallas. Shots, like I said, were 42-34. Toronto outshot us by 8, but we outscored them by 3. But yeah, that was a great game. 3 third-period goals for Dallas, including the empty netter. It was Ben 5-on-5, Marchman on the power play, and then Hastings went the empty netter and the dagger. But yeah, Dallas scored 1 in the first, none in the second, and then 3 in the third, and then Toronto scored none in the first, 1 in the second, and none in the third. That was a good third period for the Stars. Entering the third was 1-1, but then obviously Ben scored the second goal, Marchman scored the third goal on the power play, and then Hastings scored the 4th goal with the empty net. And the 4th goal was an empty net goal by Hastings. Ben, who scored that second goal, and that goal scored by Ben, which was our second goal, ended up being the game winner. That was a huge goal. And obviously after that, we just took over. The Maple Leafs still had their chances after that. They did hit the post or the crossbar in the final seconds. Not the final seconds, but the final few minutes. But a win is a win. The Stars played well. I know they got outshot by 8, but the Stars did play well. And their defense did well, too. And then obviously Ottinger was there to backstop the Stars, as he was flawless except for that Cal Yarncroke power play goal in the final minute of the second period. Yeah, this is still going to be a tough series, though. This is definitely going to be a tough series. This game was, well, I just said 1-1 until we scored 3 unanswered in the third. So, this is going to be a tough series, but it's important that we stole Game 1 here in Game 1. It's important that we stole Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final here in Toronto, because it's big to win Game 1. Because then you have momentum going into Game 2. And obviously we'll have a chance in Game 2 to take a 2-0 series lead going to Dallas for Games 3 and 4. The next episode of the series will be the first elimination game for either team in the Stanley Cup Final, which will be Game 4, Game 5, or Game 6. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. If you had this episode, hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Tell your mom, dad, grandma and grandpa, aunts, uncles, pets, and friends about these videos. And you know what? I'm going to see you in episode number 13 of this Dallas Stars NHL 23 franchise series. See you in episode number 13. And eat a lot of bacon. And go Stars.